Me likey, me likey, me likey. Welcome to another edition of AM Whiskey. This is Irish Aaron, and I'm back, Normal Mark. What do we got going on here today?
I don't know, but I think I prefer the stand-in to Normal Mark. Just kidding.
We can put the referee back in the table if you want.
We could. But it is good to have you back.
You can't replace me. Not when you're getting into the good stuff. We'll sabotage this a little bit. Put them all out of focus. Then they'll have to just show me. Brilliant.
We are looking at some of the more aged Irish whiskeys.
Aged.
Yeah, I think these are 14, 15, maybe 16 year. There's a whole gamut.
So the first one smells pretty damn good. What do we got here?
First one is Kilbeggan 16 year, 92 proof, single grain. Oh, it does smell pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I like this.
Nice little nose. Got oak on the nose. This is pretty wood forward to me. That's the first thing that I got.
Yeah, I like this. It's not very malty.
That one's not bad. I could for a bourbon drinker, I think that one would be good because it is.
Oh boy, this is another
sherry.
good one. Another 16-year-old.
Napig Castle.
Napig Castle.
Yep.
Single malt, bourbon, and Oloroso sherry cask.
Yeah, I can smell the sherry right away.
Only 86 proof. This one, the sherry kind of like overpowers the nose. Like it's like a sherry. It kind of turns it red fruit, almost an apple.
A fan of the nose on this one. You can tell it's sherry right away.
This is actually pretty good on the palate. There's a real nice fruitiness to it. Like I can actually taste red apple. This has got like a really nice red apple to it.
Yeah, this does have a nice fruity note. I get kind of like a nectarine, maybe a little pear, maybe a slight like red apple.
Mm-hmm.
Very like crisp.
Yep.
Sweet.
I like this.
All right, what do we got here? Number 3. Oh, familiar friend. This is Redbreast 15 year, 92 proof, single pot still, bourbon and Oloroso sherry.
You can get the wood off the nose, along with kind of like a pear note.
Yeah, this one isn't as sherry forward as the last one was to me on the nose. It's more fruit.
Yeah.
I don't get a high like malt hit. Seems like the most balanced on the nose. Ooh.
It
Get a lot of honey.
A lot of honey.
I don't know that I get much wood tannin. I get a lot of like honey right up front, and then it goes into like a crisp, red, delicious apple.
Yeah, I get honey and I get the apple.
Mid palate. It's very bright, fruity. Not as sherry forward as the second one.
There's a spice that lingers just a touch.
Yeah, I mean now on the finish, I'm getting some like dry oak notes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I would go so. I wouldn't call them tannic.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think. I
certainly
think
don't get any spice on this. I don't taste any spice at all, or what I would call spice. But
I think it's just the wood notes.
So far, this one is my favorite.
Oh.
Redbreast, Red Spot. Red Spot, 15 year, 92 proof, single pot still, bourbon, sherry, and Sicilian Marsala.
This is a completely different nose.
This is the Godfather. It's going to make us an offer we can't refuse.
Now this is a rounded nose.
See, I think I'm getting more of that wine influence on this than I did on the.
I would agree.
On the Redbreast.
This is less sweet.
Yeah.
It's the nose.
Not as like in your face as the second one.
Oh wow.
Which was the Napig Castle, I think.
Oh wow. Yeah. This is dangerously easy.
Wow.
And the fruit note on this is lasting. Like I got that burst of fruit up front, and then the whole mid palate, that fruit is just riding along.
Yeah. I'm getting more like like maybe some strawberry on here.
Mm-hmm.
Still a little bit of that honey vanilla.
Yeah, but like the red fruit is
But
different.
there's some red fruit up front.
Mm-hmm. I like your strawberry. I think that's right.
Yeah.
It's more strawberry than apple. Like there's no spikiness in the flavor profile. It's just kind of.
I'm getting a little bit more malt on this one than I did on the red breast,
a touch,
but it's not bad at all. It's just like, hey, I'm here. I want you to know that I'm a malt whiskey.
Mm-hmm. I think that one's so far my house leader. I mean, it's early. A lot of things can change.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty close.
It's going to be up there.
It's
going to be up there.
Yeah. That and the red breast, I think, are my leaders in the clubhouse so far.
Mm-hmm.
What do we got this one? Glass 5.
Let's see. Well, we haven't had a Bushmill yet, and we're still not going to have a Bushmill. We have another Nappig Castle. This one is a 14-year, 92 proof single malt bourbon and Oloroso.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, so this is the 14 versus the 16 year.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So this is 16, this is 14.
Yep, this is a little bit higher proof. 2 years younger. I like the nose on it. It's very... This is the most peary nose I've had. Like, I get pear.
I can get that. I can see that. There's still that backing of sherry.
Yeah.
Not as strong as the 16-year of this version. I can see a little pear. There's that hint of malt in the back.
Yeah. And the malt stays kind of in the back. But it, like right up front on the palate, I got pear slammed. That's really good.
See, I think I get the most maltiness on this one. It's still not nearly
the nose is the most malty.
It's still not nearly as high of a malt content. Malts hit you in the face.
Yeah, I agree. There's
as any of the previous ones, but of this grouping, this
so
is the
far,
maltiest of them, and that's maybe showing its youth. I don't know, because this is the younger one. You know, I'm not an Irish
but I
expert
still
at
feel
all.
like the level or degree of maltiness on this one, although the highest for this grouping so far, feels like it's still lower than the 12 years.
And that's why I think that it's the youth shining through on this, because the 10 years seemed by far the most malty.
Yeah.
Then they kind of took a step back with the 12 year. Now that we're moving to these like 14, 15, 16 years,
this is
these are
really
by far the least malty, but of this grouping, this one's the most malty, but it's not
there
it's
we
not
go.
terrible.
This is one I've had before. Bushmill 16 year single malt, Oloroso, bourbon, and port wine finished.
Oh, we get some port here.
Yep, this is a little different. I've had this one before.
We'll see how this goes.
This is one of the darkest.
This is definitely the darkest, I think. But this is also... Bushmill seems to be my enemy, as I have not liked any of the Bushmills we've had
I'm not
so
going to
far.
say anything until you try it, because I've had this before and I have a distinct opinion about this one bottle.
All right. You certainly had more experience with the Irish than I do. I mean, on occasion, you do turn into a little leprechaun with a clover nomad.
Yeah, I cleaned my palate. That one's...
The nose is not bad, though. It's not... It's actually kind of muted. It doesn't do anything really stand out. There's not that big hit of sherry or wine. There's not a big malt hit. There's not a big oak hit.
It's just
Like,
rounded and
I
complex.
can tell that it's a single malt whiskey. You know, I smell this. I'm going to say this is a Scotch or an Irish or, you know, it doesn't smell smoky. So I would, but it's everything's kind of muted.
See, instead of muted, I call it blended and delicate. On the palate, I get a whole bunch of things. I get fruit, I get caramel, there's a touch of caramel, I get vanilla. They're not really strong flavors, they're delicate flavors. And then there's a titch of malt, but it's way in the background.
Yeah, I mean, this is the only one where I did get some caramel on it.
What?
Yeah, I got caramel on it.
What?
Yeah.
I saw you making fun of me, right, for saying
No,
something.
you said delicate and I said muted. You said it's very delicate and I just said, nah, it's muted. But delicate is probably the better word for it. It just,
No, muted's a great word. I like that word.
it's just not as, well, they're just softer notes. So it's just,
Yeah.
it's not as like punch you in your face. It's like, hey, here I am. It's that soft whisper in your ear. It's trying to seduce you. These other ones just come right out and
Yeah.
they're saying, hey, take notice. This one's kind of slides up next to you, whispers in your ear.
It's
you know.
another this is another one I feel like is dangerous. Like, dangerously easy to drink.
I think a lot of these are dangerously easy to drink. They're not high proof. They're very easy sippers. These are all things that I tend to drink bourbon fairly fast, fairly quickly. These I think I would take my time with and sip. And it's not because of proof, it's not because of anything. I think it's just
No.
how they taste.
I know how you drink whiskey. That's straightforward. It doesn't matter whether it's Scotch, Irish whiskey, bourbon, rye. Like,
I'll tell you what, if
You
this
drink.
was a flight of bourbon, you think I'd still have this much in my glasses for all of these? I don't think so.
you must be marking it. So here, I'm gonna go on your Bushmill bandwagon for just a second. Not a Bushmill guy either. There's one bottle I think Bushmill does really well, and it's the 16-year triple cask finish.
Okay.
Out of everything in their product line, I personally believe that's the one.
It is not my least favorite of this grouping. It is certainly my favorite Bushmills that we've had so far.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if there's another one in our flight. We do have
There's
one more grouping to go.
possibly coming. Yeah.
This is the closest grouping of them all.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All of these are actually very good. As a person who prefers bourbon, I could drink any of these and be like, okay,
That's
it's not
twice on
bad.
Sunday. These are all good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
I think the proof on the younger one helps the flavor profile.
Yeah, maybe. Right now, the two Napa Castles are fighting for my last place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's probably because they're the hardest to say. I might not even be saying the name right.
What, you don't like the Kilbeggan?
That was the first one, right? That one was actually pretty good. I like that one.
I like the Kilbeggan.
That's in the contender, but I think it's... See, to me, the 16-year Napa Castle is just so much richer in flavor. And maybe it's it's more of the sherry. I think this... Yeah, I think it's close, but I definitely think the 16 is better than the 14. So the 14, I think, is going to be my last place.
It's weird that I like it. I just do.
Hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion. That's the great thing,
This is what I have to figure out.
is everybody gets to try and drink what they like. That's the beauty of having a variety of whiskeys, because they offer so much. Which one's that?
It's a Spot.
Yeah,
I think the Spot's really good.
I think you're becoming a spot boy.
I like Spot. Look, Spot's been first or second for me each time. Like, and Spots
That
are
Kilbeggan
really...
was really good on that.
Yeah.
Oh. I think for a bourbon drinker, the Kilbeggan might be the one to go to.
It's
Like,
really good.
if you're just wanting to try some Irish whiskey and you're a bourbon drinker, and we get it. We drink predominantly bourbon. If you watch our channel, you probably predominantly drink bourbon. The Kilbeggan is an Irish that I think you can get behind.
Oh, yeah. And I don't think you'll be upset with the Redbreast 15, the Red Spot.
No. I mean, I think they'll be good too, but this has the most bourbon profile of the other ones. I mean, especially if you like finished whiskeys, these other ones are going to hit more of your palate. And they are good. Don't get me wrong.
It's really good.
Yeah. This one's tough.
This is really tough. Like, I've got my bottom three figured out. It's now my top three. That's the problem.
My third place is the Kilbeggan.
Yep.
And these are all really close.
Mine too.
For me, I'm going. My second place is the Red Spot,
So
and my first place is going to be the Red Breast. Today, for whatever reason, I'm liking the Red Breast 15 better than the Red Spot.
So,
I know.
I'm really surprised that the Bushmill 16 isn't in my top three today.
Okay.
Really surprised. I like that bottle a lot. Kilbeggan's third. Redbreast 15 is second.
Okay. So we're just
Spot is first.
flip flopped on first and
Yeah.
second.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, this is probably when we're finally at the level, these are the Irish whiskeys I'm looking for.
Yep.
All right, all these are really damn good.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks for joining us on our third episode.
Don't forget, like, subscribe, leave a comment below.
Helps us out a ton. We appreciate it.
Keep the whiskey flowing.
And have a great night.